Okay? Kaafireen. So we're going to talk about the Kaafireen. Okay, Kaafireen, Kuffar, right? All some of the same root word. Kuffar, right? Kufr, right? Kafir, right? All these come from disbelief. Okay, Kaafireen, Kufr, Kafir, okay? Disbelief. So now Allah is describing, right? What are some of the descriptions of the disbelievers? Allah states, A'udhu-billahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. So Allah says that verily those who disbelieve, or those who have disbelief, it doesn't matter, right? It's the same for them. It doesn't matter whether you warn them or you warn them not, they will not believe. They will not have iman. Okay, so now Allah is describing the disbelievers. Right? He says that verily for those who have disbelief, it doesn't matter whether you warn them, right, or warn them not. Right? He said they will never believe. They won't believe. La yu'minun. Right? Yu'minun means they will not have iman. They won't believe in it. Right? Iman means conviction in the heart. Right? Because Rasulullah said, there is no iman, right, without amal, right, which is actions. Then Rasulullah we're told in another hadith, right, at the end of the hadith, Rasulullah said, but this is where iman resides. Right? Taqwa huna. Taqwa is here. Iman is here. Right? The heart controls the body. Right? He said, warn them or warn them not. They will not have iman. Meaning they will not believe it in their heart. Right? They won't work for it. They won't show no actions for it. Right? And we're not talking about lip service. Because there's a lot of people say, man, I believe. Oh man, I love you. Oh man, I love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh man, I can't, man, I love the masjid. Oh man, I love this and this and that. That's lip service. That's not iman. Right? That's just profession with the lips. That's just like the shahada. You took shahada. That don't mean that you a mu'min. That means you're a Muslim. That's just the first level. The first level is Muslim. Then you make it to the level of mu'min, which is iman. That's what we're talking about, man. We getting saved from the hellfire. Okay? So he said, warn them or warn them not, they will not believe. They will not have iman. They will not believe. They will not show any actions. They will not work towards showing that they believe. Okay? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, why is this so? Allah says, A'udhu-billahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim wa ala sam'ihim wa ala abasarihim gishawa. Khatam. Allah said He has put a seal. He put a seal. Okay? The word for seal is khatam. Right? Khatam could also mean ring. Right? It also means ring, something that you seal or when you stamp something. Right? Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim. Right? Allah said that He put a seal, and the first thing that Allah describes is the heart or the chest. He said He put a seal on their qulub, on their hearts, on their chest. Right? And the first reason why He says chest, because this is where iman resides. If there's a seal on the heart, there's a seal on the chest, it can't even penetrate the heart. It's sealed. Right? And iman is in the heart. So if the heart is sealed, can't nothing get in. Right? There can't be no iman. Astaghfirullah, A'udhu-billah. Allah, if He puts that khatam on you, He put that seal on your heart, it's over with. It don't matter what nobody say. You goes, man, Allah, man, man, if Allah put that seal on that heart, the iman can't penetrate. Right? But it's not just the heart. We're going to continue. But when it goes to the heart, Since we're on the heart, why does Allah supposed to talk about the heart? The heart is very important. Okay, Rasulullah said that there's a part of the heart. If it's good, the whole body's good. If it's bad, the whole body's bad. It's the heart, man. So the heart, it controls the body. So if you got a bad heart, you're going to do bad actions. You're going to do bad things. If you got a good heart, it's going to be manifested by your good actions and the good things and things that you say out your mouth is going to be good because you got a good heart, man. Right? The heart. So with regards to the heart, we're going to discuss something real quick. It's called Rana. 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 Rana are black dots. Black dots. Okay? So let's describe Khatam and Rana. And we see reference in Allah from the Rana. The Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith that every time a person sins, that Allah puts a black dot on their heart. Okay? There's a black dot. The more you sin, the more black dots you get. Right? And we also know from the hadith that in order to remove the black dot, remove that Rana, he said when you do a bad deed, follow it up with a good deed. Right? And this will polish the heart back up. Okay? Whatever black dot with, it will polish it up. So Rasulullah said that a person who commits sins, he'll get a black dot on his heart. Right? He's describing the heart because the heart controls the body. His heart is right? That's why they say his heart is cold. Right? Because the heart controls the body. So every time you do a bad deed, Allah says he put a black dot on the heart. And he said a person continues to continue to do sins until his whole heart is covered with black dots, till therefore it becomes Khatam. So a person can continue to do certain sins, monstrous sins, hideous sins, and he or she does not follow up that sin with some type of good deed. The heart is tantamount to becoming Khatam. The dots himself, this is just the Rana. We got Rana. We're going to get rid of the Rana. We want to get rid of those black dots. But once the black dots become all the way, it becomes Khatam. Now the heart's sealed because, man, he's filled with evil. He's been doing nothing but sin. Or she has been doing nothing but sin. Right? You got to work for that Khatam. You got to do 10 times more bad deeds than good deeds. You got to do 10 times bad deeds, more bad deeds than good deeds to get that Khatam. Right? So this is for those who keep playing. Right? Or think it's a game. So Allah said, Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim. He has put a Khatam on their hearts. Because a kafir, one who doesn't believe, he's not going to be following what Allah tells him to do. You're not obeying his laws and commandments because you don't believe. So that means you're doing whatever it is that you want to do. And most of the time when we do what we want to do, right, we're in disobedience to Allah, and therefore every time we sin, we get what? Black dots. So a person, he can think, well, I'm a good person, but you're a good person. You think you're a good person, but you're not following the truth. A homosexual think he's a good person, but you ain't following the truth. So every day is a day of sin, a day of Rana, and guess what? One day, Khatam is over with. Khatam. Now he's stuck in that state. Or that person is stuck in that state. Or she is stuck in that state. Whatever state it was. Whatever state of sin that they continued in. Right? Allah gave them Khatam. Right? Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim. And put a seal on their heart. Wa ala sam'ihim. And he said he'll put a Khatam on their hearing. Sam'ihim. Right? So now we're talking about the hearing. He'll put a seal. He'll put a block, a waqara, a crack. Right? He'll put that crack in your eardrum. Waqara. He'll put a crack. He'll put a seal on your hearing. Right? Some people say, oh man, ain't nothing wrong with my hearing. I hear better than you. You definitely wouldn't hear. Right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not talking about the hearing of this dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about that spiritual hearing. Right? Someone can be talking to you right here. And he be telling you something, but you can't see or hear what they're talking about. Right? Because you're blinded. You're blind, man. You're blind. You can't see. You can't see. Right? So if Allah put that seal on your eyes, you can't see nothing. Jesus himself can come down. He'll be right in front of your face and you won't be able to see because you have a seal over your eyes. You can't even see the spiritual, you can't see the spiritual scene. You're seeing of this worldly life. You have no spiritual insight. Right? So we see reference from Allah putting that, you know what I'm saying, that dukhan, that mist, that covering, right? That khatam over our seeing. Okay? Oh, excuse me, by hearing. I ain't got there yet, excuse me. Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim wa ala sam'ihim. They're hearing, right? Because Allah says, when the believers, when they say, sami'ana wa ta'na, right? Sami'ana wa ta'na. The hearing. The believers, because we're talking about Iman, when they hear, sami'ana, they hear, right? Allah's talking about putting a seal on their hearing. So Allah said that the believers, those who have Iman, when they hear the Quran, when they hear the Huda, they say, sami'ana wa ata'na. We hear and we obey. Because they hear the haqq. A disbeliever, he'll hear, I don't care about none of that you talk about. I don't hear. I don't hear. La 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 la. La 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 la. Right? People that come in their ears, why? They don't want to hear. Right? I ain't trying to hear none of that. We ain't listening. You can't tell me nothing. Right? Allah's supposed to say, keep on, and he'll put a khatam on your hearing. Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim wa ala. How do we get rid of this rana? How do we prevent ourselves from the khatam on our hearing or on our hearts? Man, we got to follow up. Man, we do some bad deeds, we got to follow up with some good deeds. You understand me? Try to stay away from the kaba'ir. Stay away from the major sins. Okay? So Allah says, Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim wa ala samihim wa ala abasarihim. Right? And a khatam upon their abasarihim, meaning their seeing, their eyesight, their basir. Right? Their basir ain't clear. Their basir won't be clear. Okay? Your basir means your perception. Right? Your seeing. Your understanding of what you're looking at, what you're seeing. Right? You could be looking at something, you don't even know what you're looking at. Because your basir ain't clear. Your perception jacked up. You have a deranged thinking. Stinking thinking. So if you have stinking thinking and you see things misconstrued, you discombobulated in your perception. You miscalculated in your perception. Okay? So Allah says, Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim wa ala samihim wa ala abasarihim. And in their seeing, there's a khatam. So they can't even see. Right? You ever hear somebody say, man, you can't even see me. You can't even see me, man. Right? Because you have a blockage. Right? You got blockage on you, man. Something wrong with you. There's a dysfunction. Right? There's a dysfunction in your iman. So therefore you can't even see. You can't see a believer. You can't see a disbeliever. You don't know a munafiq. You got everything discombobulated because you can't even see. Right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put a khatam on your seeing. And so when Allah put that khatam on you, He leaves you to your own nafs. There's no more rahmah. He's not helping you. He's not guiding you. So you're so discombobulated. You don't know what's up, what's down, nothing. Well, I like how that sounds. Well, I like how that sounds. Well, what did the next rapper say? Oh, you don't know who you are. Right? But if you got foundation, you got rules and regulations, you got rules, you got a blueprint, ain't nobody gonna have me doing all that, right? Because Allah says do this, Rasulullah said do this, don't do this. Okay, so man, I got my game plan and everything is cool. I'm good. As long as I stick to the script. As long as I stick to the script, I stick to the blueprint, I'm cool. The best example is the example of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the best. Nothing else. Right? Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim wa ala samihim wa ala abasarihim gishawa. Gishawa means a covering or a darkness. A covering. It covers. So over their eyesight or their perception, over their hearing and all that, there's a darkness. There's a covering. La 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 la. It's a covering.
Tauheed. Tauheed.